Okay, you guys, this is going to be a really interesting video today, or not. I did not have time today to record a traditional vlog, so this is just going to be a chat with Sarah, and whew, have I got something to tell you, and it is not fun. Okay, you guys, so as you can probably tell from the title of this particular video, things have gotten serious over here. So I have run into a bit of a snag. Now, don't panic. I am not deleting 20,000 words from my Nano word count. I don't even have 20,000 words on my Nano word count. What I'm deleting 20,000 words of is, well, deleting is a harsh word, but yeah, deleting is 20,000 words of my book that is up for pre-order in like 19 days. So my book, Fate's Surrender, that I've been working on editing during this month and many months previously, is up for pre-order for November 23rd. So this is not unusual for me, to be honest. So I don't always let people see this part of my process, but it is often a part of my process and it is true. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to show this part of the process because I think that writers need to understand, especially if you haven't been through this process a lot yourself, that really everybody has their own unique process. So you're going to come across times when you think, oh my gosh, there's no way anybody else does this way. Why are other people writing faster than I am? Why can people put out books faster than I am? Or why am I deleting this? Or how come all these other people plot and I can never plot? I like to just start writing. And I think it's just a natural thing to look at other writers and think, I'm going to try to emulate and do what they do. And then inevitably there hits a point in our own process where something feels right or we feel like it's right. But then when we look around, we don't necessarily see anyone else who's doing it that way. And then we begin to doubt our own process. And this has been a big thing for me because, you know, one of my best writing friends from the early days of when I became a writer, she writes, she plots, she writes the story exactly to the plot, and she writes exactly like 4,000 words per chapter. She writes exactly 16 chapters or whatever it is, and then the book is done. She goes through one final pass, hands it off to her editor, and the book is finished. And she writes about 9 books a year that way, and you know, all is happy, right? And she enjoys the process and she loves it. And it's, you know, it's not easy, but it's just something that seems from the outside smooth sailing. And she writes romance, which is not what I write, but her process is different from mine because she's writing new characters with every single book she writes. I am writing series where I'm with the same character going through new things, like a continuing plot. So in some ways, it's like I'm writing one giant novel, whereas she's writing episodic in a way. So the process naturally is going to be a little bit different, but I always compared my process to hers. And I tend to be a binge writer. So I will spend a ton of time plotting, working through the plot, trying to figure out, you guys have seen like my plotting wall, my index cards. I really think through what's going to be the best situation to push this character to becoming the person they need to be. What type of challenges do they face? How does their character arc develop? But also, what twists and turns can I bring into the story that the reader's never going to see coming? And I work through a lot of that stuff. But then, of course, I start writing and things change. And this always happens to me, that I'll write and some kind of twist will come in that I didn't see. So then I have to replan. And it's always just a process for me. And sometimes, many times throughout the past 10 years, I will get to the final round of edits, knowing that there's something still that hasn't quite clicked into place in this puzzle. So it's kind of like I've got the puzzle pieces all out on the table and they're almost perfect, but there's like a couple pieces that I sort of forced into place that don't really fit, but it looks good enough when you're like way high up. And then when I start really looking at the plot and trying to figure out all the little details and get it together for that last and final time, I realize that there's pieces that need to be kind of tweaked and changed. A few times in my career, the final edits have been pretty easy, like a few adjustments, switching some things out, changing some dialogue, making some slight adjustments, and it's been fine. But there have also been several books in my career where I get to those final edits and suddenly it's drop the entire first act and rewrite it, or drop 30,000 words at the ending and completely change the direction that the characters go in. And that is always terrifying. Usually I do not put my books on pre-order for this reason, because I know that I might need time. However, I have struggled so much to write over the past year that I decided to utilize pre-orders as a way to sort of inspire myself to work harder and focus faster. So I am definitely the kind of person who works heavy on accountability. So pre-order becomes that extra accountability for myself. And so I said, I'm going to do it. And I felt like the book was in good shape and put it up for pre-order. And here I am days before it needs to go off to the editor. And I realize one of those puzzle pieces that just is off center and it's got to change. So technically, my NaNoWriMo word count is going to come to a halt because I am going to have to pretty much spend this weekend rewriting 20,000 plus words for Fate's Surrender, because that has to take priority because of the pre-order. So obviously today is less of a vlog and more of a confessional and a question too, because, you know, purity in pure nano fashion, you're supposed to pick one project that's a brand new project and you're supposed to write 50,000 words on that project. Camp Nano is a lot more flexible, but it's not like we're in college and we're trying to get a grade here. It's just all in good fun, right? So if I write 20,000 words on a different novel, can I count that toward my NaNoWriMo word count or not? So let me know in the comments what you think, because I will be writing new words, but they will be on Fate's Surrender, which is not technically my NaNoWriMo project, but it is going to take time away from my Nano project. So let me know your thoughts of whether it's legal to count it into my word count for the month of November or not, and what your opinions are on that. Or let me know if you actually are writing several different stories instead of just, you know, one big thing. And people often call this a nano rebel, which I feel like I am entitled to being a nano rebel if I want to, because, you know, everybody's got their own process, but also I've done this for 13 years. So let's do something a little bit wild and crazy this year. But how are you going to write 20,000 words in a couple of days, Sarah? After discussing it with my husband, what I've decided to do is for Saturday, this weekend, I am going to do what I call a hotel night. So for me, a hotel night is something I've been doing since like 2012, which is basically renting a local hotel, going to a local hotel for the night and just cocooning myself, turning off social media, cocooning myself into this hotel and having no distractions. And ever since I had a child, this has become kind of a necessary part of my process. In 2020, I have not been able to do that, or 2019, because I was pregnant and I had a baby and all these things. But traditionally, this is a vital part of my process, is going to a hotel or a retreat of some kind. Now, I would love to be able to go and rent an Airbnb, like, you know, in Myrtle Beach or something like that. And if I didn't have a 14-month-old, I would probably do that. But after discussing it with my husband, he is going to take the kids. This will be my very first night away from my baby, which will be tough, but I'm trying not to be emotional about it because it's important to my process and my career. So I am going to have a hotel night, and I'm going to take you guys along with me so that you can see kind of how it works. And my goal is going to be to write as many of those 20,000 words as possible. But it will technically be kind of a halt to The Witch's Door, which is my technical NaNoWriMo project. But you know, it is what it is. I've got to get this done. So I just wanted to kind of update you. I don't have obviously a vlog for today because I have been working through this plot issue and finally understand what has been the missing ingredient in this book for so long. And I'm excited about that. I love it when that part happens, but it means there is some really hard work ahead of me and probably a few sleepless nights, maybe up to 5 to 10 sleepless nights as I get this off to my beta readers and try to hit this deadline on time. So this is where we are. And, you know, it's not an easy thing to admit that this is sometimes part of my process, but I tend to work better under pressure and I create my best work under pressure. I was always that way in college. I was always that way as a student. I have been that way as a writer for the last 10 years, where I basically am handing off to my beta readers and my editor at the last minute. And it sucks that that's part of my process, but I wanted to be truthful and show you the real truth of it because I think that everyone assumes that all writers have their books ready and they're off to the editor 6 months to a year in advance, and that's not always the case. And of course, I do not, you know, want to ever sacrifice quality, but at the same time, sometimes that bit of, like, you know how they say like pressure creates diamonds, and that's kind of what I do to myself is I create that pressure sometimes, and inside of that pressure is when I'm able to create my greatest work, and that's where the magic happens for me. And so this is just part of the process, and I'm excited to take you guys along. I have booked a riverfront hotel downtown Charleston, so I will take you guys along with that. So you'll see that vlog on Sunday, and yeah, so here we go. This is going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun. Let me know in the comments whether you think I should count that, whatever word count I need to fill that hole. If it's all new words, should I still count it as NaNoWriMo words, or should I stay a purist and only count words toward the witch's door as my NaNoWriMo words and just be delayed? We'll see how it goes. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to have a vlog about how I'm setting up a sort of writing space for myself in my bedroom so that I can write in bed with my new laptop. And then on Sunday, you will see a writing retreat vlog or a hotel night vlog, and hopefully I will be getting 10,000 plus words during that night, and I can't wait to take you along. So I will see you then. Let me know in the comments how your word count is going so far, and no matter where you are, don't give up. We are not out of this yet. We're gonna make it through, and I am here to cheer you guys on. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.